What's up, everybody? So it was a full boxing weekend and there was a lot that I could really put into this top 5 under 5, but I'm gonna have to add a bonus. I'm gonna have to add a little something extra and you're gonna understand why and you'll appreciate it. So if it goes over, that's why. I am gonna get this under 5, but it might go over this time because of the bonus. I think that's okay. So we're gonna start out with Taylor versus Lopez. Now, Teofimo, yeah, I think we all know he's been acting a little off, at least when he's talking to the media and the things that he's saying to, other people that he's interviewing with, but when he got in the ring, it looked like old Teofimo. It looked like old Teofimo. He was fast, he was sharp, he was on point against Taylor, so I respect to Teofimo. I'm glad he could put it together on the night. Taylor seemed a little off, definitely slower than Teofimo, and it's nothing that Lopez, well, I guess I should say it's nothing that Taylor could do. I felt like Taylor was on rinse and repeat. Meanwhile, Lopez was giving him a little bit of something extra, especially when he started adding that sauce to it in the middle of the fight. He just found his flow and it seemed like there was nothing Taylor could do it. But for people that complain about those cards being a little close, you can kind of understand why, because Lopez was doing a lot of pot shotting. He was doing a lot of pot shotting, and then you would see Taylor. Taylor would kind of come in close, crowd him, try to get his shots off, but Lopez was tagging him on the way in too. So fighting off the back foot worked well for Lopez, and I'm just happy he was in full flow and he was showing out. And he did his thing. He did his thing against Taylor. Credit to him. Champ once again at 140. Now, I guess the question is he number one at 140 because he beat Josh Taylor? Or do you still see Prograis as number one? I think it's still yet to be seen. Yes, he beat Taylor. If you want to put him there, you can. I want to see another fight at 140. We saw his last fight. It wasn't too good with Sandor Martin, right? We saw this fight with Taylor. It was good. You're only as good as your last performance, right? So you're going to put him at number one? Or you're going to put or leave Prograis there? We got Prograis next week, so we'll see. So number 2, Munguia versus Derevyanchenko. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna tell you now, if you didn't see that fight, go at least to DAZN and check it out, or go check out the highlights on the DAZN YouTube page, because that fight was fire from the opening bell to the end. And I say to the end, all the way to the end. That was a great fight. Fight of the year candidate for sure. I gotta give it to Munguia. Munguia has a lot of heart. He has defensive flaws up the you know what, but you cannot knock his heart. You can't knock his heart. And you know what I liked about Derevyanchenko, and I feel for him because he's been on the bad end or the wrong side of decisions, whether it was Danny Jacobs, whether it was Triple G, and now Munguia. But I just got to give it to Munguia coming back. He knew, and even when I was watching, I was like, if Munguia doesn't get a knockdown in this last round, he lost this fight. He's going to lose this fight. No matter if people think, oh, he's on a Golden Boy card or whatever, he's going to get the call. No, I didn't think he was going to win, and the cards played out that way. If he did not get that knockdown in the 12th round, he was done. He was going to lose that fight. But he did hit Derevyanchenko with a brutal body shot, and he almost finished it. But I think Munguia was so gassed. And how about that information that they dropped during the broadcast? That Munguia's team tried to get this changed to a 10-rounder. They tried to get it changed to a 10-rounder. Derevyanchenko said no. I want to keep it a 12-rounder. They tried to turn around and offer Derevyanchenko money to change it to a 10-rounder. Derevyanchenko said no, 12-rounder, and it was those championship rounds that cost him the fight. Just a little extra to add on, sprinkle on to that fight. It was a great one. Go check it out if you haven't, or at least check out the highlights. Number 3, so Sonny Edwards defends his IBF flyweight championship against Campos. Sonny Edwards did what Sonny Edwards does, man. I mean, I felt like even going into the fights, he was going to make that fight as difficult as he wanted. And it was his first fight on DAZN, and that was one of the things I was even stating on my Twitter account. I was like, you know what? Is Sonny Edwards going to try to show out a little bit and maybe stay in there and bang a little more than he needs to? Which he actually did. He tried to stay in and really just sitting on the ropes, trying to catch him in between shots. And that's what he was trying to do, just to make it a little more entertaining, because he could stay on the back foot and just beat the guy really easily. And so Sonny Edwards could make this fight as difficult as he wanted. And so the guy did win. Campos, when I said Campos, I want to say the guy. I want to discredit him. But Campos won about 3 rounds. That was fair, but Sonny Edwards was in control. He was never in trouble, and I really like at the end of the fight. Did you see that kit though? Sonny Edwards' kit was nice, and when he actually explained what it was his first time. His son was at the fight, Chance was at the fight, and he got in the ring afterwards, and he said he completed his first video game. How about that? Completed his first video game. He had those Undisputed trunks, so if you haven't played the Undisputed boxing game, go check it out. On PC only right now. It's not full release. So he finished Spider-Man. He says his son Chance finished Spider-Man, And so that fight was for him. So mad love to Sonny Edwards. Great fight. Well, I wouldn't say it was a great fight. It wasn't a great fight, but he did defend his flyweight title. And now we're going to get Sonny Edwards versus Bam Rodriguez. And you know why I say we're going to get that? Because the fighters want it. Sonny Edwards has already signed for it. So that's what I expect we're going to get next. And I can't wait for it. That's going to be fire. I want it to be in San Antonio. I think the crowd would be more amped up for that. And it's going to, wait, that's the one, y'all. That's the one. Probably get in what, November timeframe. So let's get hyped for that. Let's start building that because that's going to be one to watch for sure. So in this one, Shanika Johnson defended her IBF title against Ellie Scotney. Ellie Scotney has long been one of my favorite fighters. She's improved each time out. And I felt like that litmus test of Mary Romero is exactly what she needed. Once she passed that, I think the sky's the limit because that was a pressure fighter throwing punches. Sometimes people saw Mary Romero as being a little dirty or whatever, but she handled her with ease. Like there's so many levels to Scotney. Scotney can stay inside and can bang. She can fight on the outside, but she likes to mix it up. And with Shanika Johnson, her output was very low. She wasn't throwing enough punches. I felt like Scotney was able to get very comfortable in the fight, was never in any trouble. The outcome was never in doubt. And I think Sugar Neeks, she knew, and that's Shanika Johnson, by the way, I think she understood at least halfway through the fight, this was not going to be going her way. And she just had nothing left. The fifth round was probably her best round up to that point because Ellie Scotney was just rolling. He was just rolling. And then Scotney finished strong, and that was it. And that was her first world title. Congrats to the champ, well deserved. And what I like to say is well earned. Ellie Scotney, now world champ at super bantamweight. And it's just who will she take on next? Because there's some champs out there that I believe can give her some trouble, and that includes Marilyn Rivas. So we'll see what's coming up next for Ellie Scotney. But for now, congrats to the champ. Adrian Broner is back. So Adrian Broner is back. He beat Bill Hutchinson, and it was an easy victory. All 10 rounds, Adrian Broner was in control. He was actually letting his hands go. I think he was more comfortable letting his hands go, but we'll see if he can keep that up when the competition gets stiffer. Not really much to say about this fight. Just after the fight, Adrian Broner talking his usual mess on who he wants next. But we'll have to see because he was fighting at 147. And can he be disciplined enough to make 140? Do we really think he will? It's possible, but will he? Don't know. Who knows? Next, he could end up fighting Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor might move up to 147, and that's a good fight for Adrian Broner at 147. So if he wants to come down, and he's saying he's coming down to 140, he's mentioned that he wanted Prograis, but he really didn't talk about Prograis much after the fight. So we'll see. Could it be Ryan Garcia? Don King was trying to talk about what Oscar De La Hoya has to offer. Adrian Broner cut him off. So we'll just have to see on Adrian Broner. I'm not going to be held up on too much on him. I just want to see him get active. I'm glad he's back in the ring. I'm glad he was able to get a paycheck. And now it's on to the next. Now for the bonus for this top 5, under 5, we have to recognize all the Hall of Famers that got inducted this weekend to the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Some of them posthumously. So a few of the names that I'm going to have them scrolling here, and I'm not going to talk over it, but I definitely want to recognize them for this big weekend, for all their accomplishments. Thank you for what you've done for boxing, what you've given to the sport, and the inspiration that you've provided to many fighters that have come after you, as well as people even like me, fans like me, the entertainment that you provided me. So thank you to all those that were inducted. Appreciate those that were inducted posthumously, and we're going to recognize them at this moment. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Till next time, peace.